Now joined by Gladys Sholei, Chief Registrar of the Courts. She's going to be talking to us what to expect. There we are. What to expect in the next few days. So we know today is the deadline, and all the petitions, or maybe if perhaps more are yet to come, we'll be seeing them coming in. But what happens from now? First, how many petitions have you received?
Okay, I know that we've received 2 petitions. I'm told there's a third one. I'm yet to go back to the registry to confirm that. But we are open today until midnight. And therefore, we are ready to receive any petitions that they may be. And all our staff members are here, as you can see. We only came out here because after the team from the Code Coalition came to the registry, we served them, they filed their petition, and because there was many people out here, we asked them to come and ask for calm and persuade their supporters that they've been treated well, they have been handled well by the Supreme Court registry, and that they have filed a petition, and there is no need to demonstrate anymore outside the Supreme Court. We said they're perfectly within their rights to demonstrate peacefully outside the court. That is acceptable, but we just wanted them to assure them, and I had actually agreed that I can make a joint statement with them, but of course when I saw the crowds I couldn't deal with it. As you know, I'm not a politician. Yes, and but in the next few days, you asked what's going to happen. The petition has been filed today. Within the 3 days, the Registrar of the Supreme Court will publish the petition, and within 3 days after that, the petitioner is required to serve the respondent. And within another 3 days, the respondent must respond to the petition and come and file it here in court. On day 9, there shall be a pre-trial conference. That is when the judges sit down with the lawyers and agree on the ground rules. What are the issues that can be raised? What are the areas to be covered? Whether all the affidavits have been filed? Whether there will be any need for cross-examination? Usually that's very rare. The court usually takes its evidence only by affidavit unless some exceptions are made. It's sort of the planning meeting for the judges of the Supreme Court. That will happen on day 9. Thereafter, for 2 days, there shall be a hearing. And then, after that, the court is going to go back and write their decision.
Explain to us maybe the hearing. Is it like a normal court hearing? The judges, how exactly does it happen?
Yes, it's a normal hearing like any other Supreme Court hearing. You know, it's like any other application before, whether it's a Court of Appeal or the Supreme Court. So it is a normal hearing. Only the pre-trial conference is really a meeting. It's not a hearing. And again, we've made arrangements so that the members of the public are able to follow this. We have spoken to the Media Owners Association or Council, and we've agreed that they will adopt the same method as they did during the presidential debates. That means there will only be one media house inside the Supreme Court building, inside the Supreme Court itself, and then they will feed that signal to all the other media houses, and therefore people are able to watch it live across the other media houses. We've also agreed that the print media will nominate 4 people who will then sit in court and write notes and share among themselves. And we've also agreed that with the lawyers, that they shall only allow the lawyers and 9 other people, so that we can reduce the number of people, or rather, you know, stay within capacity. We only have a 50 people capacity sitting inside the Supreme Court, but everybody else will be able to watch it live, and therefore we've struck a balance between keeping the Supreme Court safe and keeping some sanity so the judges are able to hear the cases in peace, but also at the same time knowing that the public must watch it. So it will be accessible live on television across the country, for all people to watch. Yes. All
right, so today is the 7th day, so within 14 days we expect there to be a determination already. Could the judges have that determination before the end of those 14 days, or is it at the expiry of those 14 days?
It will be before the expiry of by at least day 14 there should be a decision. And remember, the court is allowed by law to give its decision and give the reasons much later. That way they are able to beat the time. So they don't have to write a 100-page judgment. They can initially just say bottom line what the decision. They can give the reasons later, and that also permits even. We expect, you've talked about the pre-trial conference, and you said here the judges get to meet with the various councils. We know that a petition was filed on Thursday by 3 respondents, by 3 petitioners who are allied to Jubilee. But the biggest concern now is there's 14 days, and there's 3 petitions, at least we know of 3. AfriCog is yet to officially file theirs, but they're planning to, maybe by end of day they will have. So the judges will be handling 3 cases at the same time, essentially because of the time limit? Yes, I mean the lower and the judges can, once looking at the petition, they will have a meeting probably Monday, Tuesday. They will look at all the petitions. The legal researchers and law clerks are looking through the briefs and having them ready for the judges. The judges will be ready to start reading them. We've asked the parties to give it to us in soft copy. It's going to be emailed to all the judges now so that the judges can have the weekend to begin to familiarize themselves with the case. They will call for their own meeting, and they will then make the decision whether to consolidate or hear them separately. That is purely the decision of the Supreme Court.
And as things look right now, of course, a swearing-in had been set for the 26th of this month. That is clearly not going to be happening, right?
Yes, if the case has been filed, then the swearing-in won't happen on the 26th. But I think the Assumption Committee, in which I sit, was very clear about that. They had the date of 26th in case there was no petition. They also have, the date of 9th in case there is a petition and the status quo at the moment is sustained. But they also have prepared in case there has to be a new election. So I think they're very clear that all the scenarios are being taken care of and all preparations are being made depending on what may happen.
All right, one more confirmation. How many judges will be listening to this? We know right now there are 6. The Deputy CJ is yet to have the approval from the National Assembly. How many will be sitting in to listen to this petition?
The quorum of the court is 5. The power to set the bench lies with the Chief Justice. But the Supreme Court is a collegial court. They make decisions together and collectively, and they will have a meeting to make that decision. But there has been a statement by the Chief Justice that all six.
Word from the judiciary, would you represent them now and tell Kenyans?
Yes, when I came out here and agreed to make this statement jointly with the petitioners was to just assure Kenyans that let's be peaceful, let's allow the judges an opportunity to hear the case and make their determination, and also assure them that the judiciary, as several times the Chief Justice has assured, that we are a fair court, we will abide by the Constitution, and that they will get justice when they come to this court. And we are been very ready. As you saw today, we were all here. We've been open every night telling people that it's our job to sit and hear to receive cases, and therefore I think we've lived up to that. And you see, we're open on Saturdays. It's unusual. So
exactly, up to midnight.
The judiciary is changing, and we're open until midnight. So that's really the message to Kenyans, and that we appeal for calm and actually less noise outside here. As you know, our Supreme Court is not soundproof, so we'll be pleading with them at the time of the hearing not to be here so that we are able to silently. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Just been talking to Gladys Sholei, Chief Registrar, and she has talked to us, of course, about some of the things we should expect.